if somebody invented a time machine and we could use that time machine and we would have an opportunity to go back during the times when Jesus was alive, would you go? Yes? Okay, good. I would like to go. I love Holy Land and seeing Holy Land during the times of Jesus. So, question is, what would you like to do when you're with Jesus? Let's say you've been with Jesus for 3 years. You know, what would you like to do? What would you like to accomplish? And maybe as a disciple of Jesus Christ, maybe some of us would think that, oh, I want to be a good preacher, to preach and see a lot of people be converted, just like Jesus. He's my model. Maybe some of us would say that, oh, I would like to deliver the sick. You know, there's so many sick right now. When I pray over them, I want them to be instantly healed. Maybe some of us would think that, oh, I would like to deliver people from evil spirits. Do deliverance. There's a lot of people who are possessed right now. And those are good things. That's what Jesus did. He healed the sick. You know, he expelled demons. He preached the gospel. And people were being converted. And as a disciple of Jesus Christ, I think we should do that. But I think that's not the most important things that we have to do. Those are just the fruit of what we have to do. The most important thing to do is really to get to know Jesus in a very personal way. Fall in love with him and love him in return. That's the most important thing. Those other things, preaching, healing the sick, expelling demons, those are just the fruit of our love for him. Okay? In Luke chapter 10, verse 20, the 70 disciples, they've been trained by Jesus, to preach, to proclaim, to deliver people from evil spirits, to heal the sick. It says here in Luke chapter 10, it starts from 17. It says, the 70 returned with joy, saying, Lord, in your name even the demons submit to us. He said to them, I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning. See, I have given you authority to tread on snakes and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing will hurt you. Nevertheless, do not rejoice at this, that the spirits submit to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. That's the greatest joy, that our names will be written in heaven. And our names will be written in heaven only if we love him and if we love others. Because at the end of our life, we will be judged by love alone. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 to 3, it says there, if I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. So it's all about love. It's all about love. So, and in our first reading today, it talks about those who persevere in love will be written in the book of life. There's two books. One that is book of life, and the other one is the book of death. Okay? In our first reading today, where it says there, what's that? It says there, and the books were opened. Also another book was opened, the book of life. And the dead were judged according to their works as recorded in the books. Okay? And it says here, death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them, and all were judged according to what they had done. Okay? Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. Anyone whose name was not found written in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. The Lord loves us so much, immensely, unconditionally, personally, eternally. He desires, He longs, He thirsts that we be with Him in heaven for eternity. But He can't force us. He can't force us. We need to desire to go to heaven and be with Him. Okay? And that's only by loving God and by loving others. And we will be tempted not to love God. We will be tempted not to love others. Okay? And you know, we've been reading from the book of Revelations for a few days now. And it talks about really, you know, the tribulations, the persecutions, the chastisement that we would experience before the return of Christ. And people, many people, Christians, even practicing Catholics or practicing Christians, who would give up their faith, because of the pressure that comes from the world. It says there in our first reading, I also saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their testimony to Jesus and for the word of God. They had not worshipped the beast or its image and had not received its mark on their foreheads or their hands. They came to life and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. So this is a promise to all those who will persevere, who will not give in to the temptation, those who will not give in to not loving God and not loving others. Okay? And what will happen, you know, when we're written in the book of life, we will be admitted in heaven. And in heaven, what's in store for heaven? It says there, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. The heavenly wedding banquet that awaits each and every one of us, to those who would persevere. Okay? So, let's ask for that grace. You know, for me, I always ask that grace because I'm always afraid that I would deny the faith if I'm, you know, put into pressure. Really, honestly, I pray to God every day. Lord, give me the grace to persevere to the very end, no matter what difficulty. You know, don't be afraid. If you're close to Jesus and to Mary, there's nothing to be afraid. They will supply what will be lacking. If you're lacking in faith, the Lord will supply that. If you're lacking in whatever virtue, okay, especially fortitude, the Lord will provide that. Stay close to the source. If you're always staying close to the source, there's nothing to be afraid. And again, there's going to be tribulations, there's going to be temptation, okay? But stay close to Jesus. Again, what's the most important thing? Is to love. Love God, love others, so that our name will be included in the book of life.